In this lesson, I'll show you how to create a form using the Form Wizard. I have a document open that I downloaded from the Adobe website. It has form fields that have already been inserted in the document and are ready to be populated. I click on the name field, type in some text, I can press tab, and I can just go ahead and fill in the form this way. It has a checkbox where I can go ahead and check. It even has a box for a signature, so that if I were to send this document out for review or signature required, it would end up in the recipient's mailbox and they would be prompted to add a signature at this point. I also have a large wraparound text box which I could use to just go ahead and wrap text. I wouldn't have to go ahead and wrap myself. So this is a completed form. In this form, I just have a scanned image, and if I click on it and right click, you can see that the shortcut menu is indicating that this is just an image. It's just a scanned photograph basically. And what some Acrobat users will do is click on the Edit tool, click on Add Text, and then just click and type right on top of the image, which you can get away with, but there is all kinds of problems when you work with this method. One, it's very laborious because you have to click with your mouse every place you want to type. Second, it's going to be aligned differently every time you populate a form, and probably the most important method is there's no way to collect the data this way. If you were to use this and then try to collect data as these forms were returned to you by several users, someone would have to sit down and manually count up or retype this information and collect it in some sort of a data repository. We can avoid all of these problems if we use the form tools inside of Acrobat. I have the Adobe document loaded again, but this time there are no form fields inserted. All we have are text labels here and then some sort of a line or a box next to it. I see that I have my checkbox down here. I have a place for my signature which has no line, and I have an area here which can be used for typing a larger amount of text, but there are no form fields at all. When I run the Form Wizard, it will come out and examine the form and try to identify labels with an area to the right, left, or bottom, or the top where it might want to fill in a field. So this is going to really depend, the effectiveness of the Form Wizard is going to depend on how accurately it can determine what's taking place here. I know I'm going to have a problem right here at the bottom because it just says signature, but there's no line or box or anything. It might have a problem down here because there's no real label that it can determine is used to represent this box. The labels here are very uniform. We have nothing like that down here. To run the Form Wizard, I will come out and on my tool pane I'm going to look for Prepare Form. Now when the Prepare Form dialog opens, it will contain the document that you currently have open. Also down here below the Start button, you will see that Form Field Auto Detection is currently turned off. That means if I were to click on Start, it would just open up this document ready for me to edit or enter new form fields manually. But I might be able to give myself a head start if I set auto detection on and have the Form Wizard employed to try and determine if there are any fields that it can employ automatically. So to turn detection off, I can change that by clicking this button, and it will take me inside of Preferences on the Forms category, and all I have to do is come out where it says Automatically Detect Form Fields, and I can check that box and click OK. Another way to do this is just to come out to your Edit menu and choose Preferences, and then find Forms and turn this on and off yourself. So now I see that Form Field Auto Detection is on. With my document that I have loaded selected, I'm going to go ahead and click on Start, and it tries and detect the form fields. Now it's done a pretty good job. It used the label on the left to name the new field. It couldn't determine what was happening here, so it just used undefined. It has state, it has zip, phone, couldn't identify what was going on here. I have my checkbox here, which looks like it plugged in something. Didn't work for the signature, didn't work for this large multi-list box that I have here. I'm going to go ahead and close this document and not save changes. And I'm going to come back and open it up once more and start again. This time I'm going to try and help the form wizard by coming out and choosing Edit PDF and see if I can't emulate a box for my signature. So I will come out here and select email. I will choose copy and paste. Then I'll use my arrow keys and just try to line this up with the original box. It looks good. And I'm just going to take this and move this right down next to signature. And then it will appear like the others here. Now I'm going to copy and paste this again, and I'm going to go ahead and bring it down to my large wrapping text box here. I may have to zoom in. It's being a little unruly. There we are. Maybe I'll move it over a little. And that looks pretty good. Something else I might do to help out here is to split this out and just make this visual inspection interior. So I'm going to select this guy and I'm going to copy and paste it. I'm going to move this down here to get it out of the way, and I'm going to delete the upper and lower portions respectively on both of these, so I end up with two separate boxes but still showing the same information, just one piece here and one piece here. There we go. I have my edits. With my changes in place, let's go out and run the wizard once more. I will go back to my tool pane, choose prepare form. Here's my document. I will come out and make sure that auto detection is on. I'm going to go ahead and choose start. It's telling me it has to save the document. And now after the form wizard is finished, you can see that it has completed all of the fields using the labels that I applied. Also, I have my new signature box here. Let's try the wizard again on this first form that just had the graphic image inside. I'm going to see if the wizard can pick up these fields. I will choose prepare form. There's my document. I see that auto detection is on. I'll choose start. And there is the result. Not very good. It helped out a little, but in this case I might be better off just going ahead and grabbing my own tools from the toolbar and applying them inside of the boxes, which really isn't too difficult to do. So in this case, it might be better just to go ahead and start from scratch and build these manually on top of the existing image that I have.